A life rebuilt, overcoming betrayal and moving forward. 17 years of marriage.
A life built together.
Then, in an instant, everything changed. At 43, I never imagined I'd find myself in this position. My job as a manager for an automotive store required occasional travel, 2 or 3 days at a time, twice a month. It wasn't ideal, but it provided well for my family. My wife, always passionate about fitness, started teaching yoga at a local studio 3 years ago. It wasn't for financial reasons. She simply enjoyed the social interaction and having something of her own. Then the signs started appearing. Small things at first: new clothes, a different perfume, more time spent on her phone. She began angling the screen away when I walked by. Looking back, those were red flags, but I ignored them. Everything came to light during a business trip to Detroit.
I was supposed to be away for 3 days.
But a cancelled meeting allowed me to return early. I pulled into our driveway at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday, surprised to see her car at home.
Usually she would be at the studio until
4. Another unfamiliar vehicle was parked down the street. Stepping inside, I heard noises from upstairs. That sinking feeling hit me immediately. My worst fears were confirmed when
I opened the bedroom door. She was with someone else. A younger man, one of her students.
they scrambled for their belongings as I stood frozen. Without a word, I turned and walked away, checking into a hotel for the night. The calls started immediately, dozens of them. When I finally answered, she admitted everything. It wasn't just the student. She had also been involved with the studio owner. Both affairs had been happening for months. Her reasoning? She felt neglected because of my travel schedule. The attention made her feel alive again. I contacted a divorce attorney the next day, moved into a furnished apartment. When our adult children, 21 and 19, asked why I left, I told them the truth. The fallout was swift. Word spread quickly in our small community. Both of her affair partners were married, and their families soon discovered the truth. The studio owner's wife, who co-owned the business, shut it down entirely. 3 weeks passed. My wife was staying with her sister, sending long messages about therapy and reconciliation. I ignored them. Work became my escape. My boss, understanding the situation, reduced my travel for the time being. The apartment, though empty, brought a sense of peace. No more suspicions. No more checking phones or questioning behaviors. Just quiet clarity. One unexpected outcome was connecting with others going through the same situation. I ran into the studio owner's wife at the grocery store, and we talked over coffee, sharing experiences and supporting each other. A small group of us, spouses affected by this, started meeting regularly, providing encouragement through the difficult times. As the divorce progressed, more details surfaced. The affairs had started 9 months earlier, around the time my travel increased. The studio owner initiated things first, followed by the involvement of the student. They all knew about each other. Meanwhile, my wife's situation worsened. Her sister eventually asked her to leave.
After discovering she had tried
Reconnecting with one of the affair partners, she lost her job, many friends distanced themselves, and her family expressed their disappointment. Facing real consequences for the first time, she struggled to cope. Despite this, she attempted to challenge the divorce proceedings. Claiming emotional distress led to her actions. My attorney assured me it wouldn't hold up. Our children, though hurt, handled everything with remarkable maturity. They chose to spend the holidays with me. Instead of our usual traditions, we ordered takeout and watched movies. Different, but still meaningful. I began therapy not to fix the marriage, but to understand why I had ignored the warning signs for so long. It helped. The pain, once sharp and overwhelming, became a dull ache that faded over time. 4 months in, the divorce was nearly finalized. My ex-wife showed up at my apartment one night,
visibly upset, asking for another chance.
I calmly closed the door and called her sister to pick her up. The studio owner relocated. While his ex-wife opened her own successful fitness center, the student's ex-wife, expecting their first child, prepared to raise it on her own after he moved away. Life kept moving forward. My daughter graduated from college and both parents attended, sitting on opposite sides of the auditorium. She handled it with grace. Around the same time, I was offered a promotion with less travel and more responsibility, a fresh start at the company's headquarters just 35 minutes away.
I accepted.
6 months after everything unraveled, the divorce was finalized. Signing those papers brought nothing but relief. My new home in a different city was exactly what
I needed, a clean slate with no painful memories.
my ex-wife sent a long letter filled with explanations and apologies. After reading the first page, I shredded it. Both of her affair partners' divorces were finalized as well. The studio owner's former wife was thriving in her new business, and the student's ex-wife welcomed her child into the world. As for me, I finally started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee and conversation. Learning to trust again would take time, but I was in no rush. Selling our rental property was one of the last loose ends. My ex moved in with a cousin 2 towns over. Not my concern anymore. Looking back, I'm grateful for how clear the truth was when I discovered it.
No manipulation, no half-truths.
Just undeniable facts that allowed me to move forward without hesitation. Now,
I feel lighter, like I've shed a weight I didn't even realize I was carrying.